I know I'm so late to the party, but like Tyler Reddick just won 3 races in a row. The first time ever a driver won the first 3 races of a season, at least in the Cup Series, to my knowledge. Apologize for being late, but I made it. Let's recap the NASCAR weekend at COTA and the Truck Series and IndyCar races at St. Pete. Jake, Main Motorsports, I'm back. Let's do it. Tyler Reddick, 3 races in a row, wins the first 3 for 2311 Racing. It's kind of funny because the conspiracy theorists are already kind of at it like, oh, 2311 just kind of like won the lawsuit, so NASCAR's letting them win. No, it's not rigged. Tyler Reddick is an all-around great driver. 2311 Racing is a good team. Up there with Joe Gibbs Racing. It's literally almost as good, if not as good as Joe Gibbs. Like Daytona, yeah, anybody can win Daytona, but he maneuvered his way to the front of the pack on that last lap beautifully. Atlanta, oh, he had the damage. How was his car that fast? I mean, we've seen times at like Martinsville in the past, like a right front fender is gone and like the tire actually gets cool faster. So it's like, it's good if like the fender's off in some regard, the tire temperatures stay a little bit lower. And he had a Toyota teammate named Chase Briscoe helping him win that Atlanta race. So, it happens 2 in a row. Great job. Then COTA, he's won at COTA before. So it's like not shocking. The fact he outdueled SVG is awesome. Like, I love SVG, but the one track SVG seems to struggle out road course wise is COTA. So before we get into the Cup race, let's just go over the other races this last weekend. Like, 4 days, 5 days late. My bad. All right, so the first race of the weekend was the Truck Series inaugural street course race at St. Petersburg. Lane Riggs won the first street course race ever in Truck Series history. He held off the Thor Sport teammates of Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski. Ty Majeski tried a nice dive bomb move. He missed it. I predicted Lane Riggs would win 5 races at least this season. I have no doubt, though, he'll win at least like 7, 8. Without Corey Heim there, it's possible. People seem to receive the race pretty well. I like Lane Riggs, so yay. Later in Saturday, we had the NASCAR O'Reilly Series race at COTA. Going into it, we all thought, yeah, it's going to be an SVG versus Connor Zilisch battle. And that's exactly what it was. They were having a great battle during stage 1. Class of the field, per usual, off the road course. Then Connor Zilisch had a setback. I believe he had something wrong with the braking of his car. His brakes weren't working properly. He got it fixed. It was a minor setback, major setback rather. At the end of the day, SVG made a sick move, like 4 or 5 wide on a late race restart from like 6th to 1st in one corner. It just drove away. Connor Zilisch, though, made a really good comeback, was in the top 5, fighting for a top 5 at least, until Corey Day made another big mistake. Just misjudged it. Drove into, the rear quarter panel of the Junior Motorsports #1, sending Connor Zilisch flying into the dirt. Ruined Zilisch's good comeback. This would not be the first time this weekend that Zilisch had setbacks. We'll get to the Cup race in a little bit, but Corey Day, no doubt he has incredible talent. He is off back-to-back top 5s. However, after causing a few wrecks at Atlanta, kind of like inexcusable wrecks too, just like overdriving it, and then not really taking accountability for it, like saying, oh, this happened, oh, that happened. He's getting a bad reputation early. And this is not uncommon, right? We've seen Chastain in 2022 in his big breakout year. He seemed to be running into somebody every single week. Even Carson Hocevar, very popular, but he runs into people a lot. Like, it's this over-aggression in these younger drivers. And Corey Day is the youngest. He's like, 19, 20 years old? He's going to be just fine. Rick Hendrick sat down with him in a team meeting, probably telling him, like, hey, you got the talent. You got to relax a little bit. And he does. He's got to relax a little bit. He's excited. He's driving a fast race car. He's doing a good job. He's racing up front. But he's not making too many friends. So hopefully he cleans that up. SVG, though, won. Finally got a win at COTA. Can he repeat the Cup race? Shockingly, no. And then on Sunday, the IndyCar's first race of the season at St. Pete. To no one's surprise, Alex Palou is leaving off to no one's surprise, Alex Palou went out there, didn't even start in the front row, took the lead, set sail, won by 13 seconds, the first race of the season. That marks his 20th IndyCar series win. He has won 4 of the last 5 championships, and there's no doubt in my mind that he'll probably end up winning a 6th one this year. If he's going to win by 13 seconds in the first race, I know the season's young, but nobody had anything for him. Scott McLaughlin finished 2nd after starting on the pole. Good race for the Thirsty Threes. And then I believe Christian Lundgaard rounded out the podium racing for Arrow McLaren in that 7 car. I'm newer to IndyCar, last 4 years or so. I've been watching it pretty often. I'll cover portions of IndyCar races because next week they have a doubleheader with NASCAR, the IndyCar race and the NASCAR race at Phoenix. That's huge. I like these doubleheader weekends though. It's good for both sports. But I know they have the hybrid system. I'm not an expert, but to me it seems like since they started implementing the hybrid system, the parity in IndyCar has definitely gone down. I feel like Alex Palou's been running away with it. I know the cars feel differently. But I know you have push to pass, and that obviously you push the button, you have 200 seconds per race on the street courses and road courses to give you that extra boost of horsepower to pass, more often. Correct me if I'm wrong, is the hybrid system kind of the same thing with the boost of horsepower? It's just once it drops down to 0, it can regenerate. Is that how it works? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Alex Palou won. Good for him, but if he's going to dominate like he did last season, rounding out the championship a few weeks before the season's even over, we are in for a long season. I have no problem with domination, but I do myself a little bit of parity. Hopefully the championship battle's a bit closer this year. So Tyler Reddick, even before he won the race, started on pole. Great qualifying effort, starts alongside Ross Chastain. However, in that first stage, Reddick fell back. He didn't even lead the first lap. Chase Briscoe took the lead from Tyler Reddick. And then about 10 laps later, Ryan Blaney made a clean pass for the race lead. Probably the fastest Blaney's ever been on a road course. A driver who's not notoriously known for being good at road courses being Blaney. He has 1 win at the Charlotte Roval, but he was running 3rd, should have finished 3rd. He got a little lucky, but that was, I think, his best road course performance ever. So good for Blaney. But it was funny because Reddick started dropping back, but we saw today, I think the extra horsepower added some more tire fall off. The broadcast was saying lap times are falling off by a few seconds. It was cool to see. I think Tyler Reddick was just saving his stuff. He fell back to nearly outside the top 10 early, and then he clawed his way back to 3rd or 4th before the pit stop cycles happened. So it was interesting. SVG gained a bunch of spots in the first stage. Before the end of the stage, we have that pit strategy. Some cars will pit before the stage ends to get track position for the next stage. Some drivers will stay out, get the stage points, and then pit, restart at the end of the field. And because of that, Ross Chastain wins stage 1 over SVG. And then stage 2 begins. Blaney is your leader. I didn't mention yet Connor Zilisch. Zilisch started way back in 25th. Way back in 25th. Uncharacteristic. I think we all expected more speed. Oh, we got that speed, though. He drove his way up into the top 10, starting stage 2. Unfortunately, going into turn 1, Daniel Suarez, low-key, kind of ran into the back of him. You didn't see anything. Spun Zilisch, and Zilisch goes from, the top 10 all the way back to, 30-something. So, the first big setback for Zilisch, but he would come back. Stage 2 kind of started the theme for the rest of the race, where Reddick, he took the lead from Blaney, and Blaney would run behind him for a majority of the second stage, a majority of the third stage. Blaney was keeping pace with Reddick for a handful of laps until Reddick began to pull away. The tires definitely wore. We saw guys on new tires make spots up, guys on old tires over time fall back. And by the end of stage 2, again, we saw that pit strategy. A bunch of the leaders pitted to get the track position for the final stage, which led to a Ty Gibbs win in stage 2. He got some points there, which are very needed for Ty Gibbs because Ty Gibbs didn't have a very good first 2 races. And then we go to the beginning of the final stage. Beginning of stage 3, your top 4 were Blaney, Reddick, SVG, and Byron. Usual suspects, I guess besides Blaney, because I've never really seen Blaney have this speed, but Blaney had a good day. I will give him credit for that. Then the first big issue happened. Chase Briscoe had a mechanical failure. I think it was some drive shaft or rear axle problem. He had a good top 4, top 5 day going. Takes him out of it. The final round of pit stops begin. Reddick and Blaney are literally side by side when they come out. It's going to be between these two if nothing goes awry. Probably SVG didn't quite have the speed that he usually does. But then the big, turning point of the race happened when Ross Chastain lost the tire. But Chastain had a great top 10 day going. Ruined. He lost all of his track position. And yeah, on this final round of pit stops, guys like Reddick and Blaney and SVG, a lot of the top guys again stayed out on 10, 15 lap older tires, 20 lap older tires, maybe even less than that. A lot of guys like Larson and I believe Christopher Bell, they all pitted on that caution to get fresh tires. It would work out for them. After that last restart, it was a Reddick versus SVG battle as Blaney began to fade on the older tires. SVG maintained pace with Tyler Reddick most of this day, but on the last run, Tyler Reddick was able to set sail. He pulled away, surprisingly, from the road course specialist, leading him to win his 3rd race in a row. History was made on Sunday. Awesome. Awesome. It's just funny how, I always feel like after a driver has a bad season, they always come back strong. Denny Hamlin in 2018 had his first winless year. Next season wins 6 races and a championship 4 appearance. Joey Logano in 2017 had a singular win that was encumbered. Misses the playoffs. The next year, wins 3 races in the championship. Tyler Reddick last year, winless. Absolutely winless. Zilch, nothing. This season, 3 wins to start the regular season. Far above anybody else in the point standings. He's the obvious championship favorite. Can this speed last? We will see. Back to Connor Zilic. On that final restart, man, I feel so bad. He was up to 4th after having a huge setback early. I was like, Zilic actually has the pace to pass these guys. And he did. And then on a restart, he gets spun again. That was just a big stack up. 4 cars behind him just kept pushing each other. One guy broke late. Hit that guy. Hit Zane Smith into Connor Zilic, ruining both their days. That was a shame for Zilic. He still clawed his way back for a pretty decent finish despite that. But dang, what could have been. A random side note, too, which is really funny. It was pretty much, Tyler Reddick's race. Nobody else was going to catch him last lap. And then Mike Choi, man, he had me thinking with the way he reacted. I thought, a car just flipped into the grandstands at COTA. But no, it was for a meaningless spin for Carson Hocevar. I actually okay, this race is over. And then I heard that I was going what the hell just happened? And it was just Carson Hocevar spinning. But let's play it real quick. It's really funny. And yeah, that recaps the COTA. Let's go over some of the top finishers. As I mentioned 30 times in this video, Tyler Reddick wins 3 in a row. 61 points on the day. Led 58 laps. Very good day for Tyler Reddick. I'm sure he's happy winning 3 in a row. SVG, not the dominant force that we usually expect. Still brought it home second, Got some stage points as well. Did a very good job. Just didn't quite have what that 45 had. And again, this is a trend. SVG notoriously has been known to not be as strong at COTA compared to other road courses. He won the Xfinity race, O'Reilly, but he just came up a little bit short, didn't have the grip at the end. Christopher Bell, I mentioned before, 3rd place, solid day. Was always flipping the pit strategy to get the track position for the next restart. Fresh tires at the end gave him a 3rd place finish. Ty Gibbs, another good day. Got a stage win. Had fresh tires at the end, brought it home 4th. A much-needed good day after having 2 bad races. Michael McDowell, man, 5th. Such an underrated road course racer. He won the Indy road course a couple of years ago. He was up there, too, consistently running top 10. Brings it home top 5 on those fresher tires. Back-to-back, Hendrick teammates finishing 6th and 7th. Kyle Larson had fresh tires again. 6th place, not bad for Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott with the incredible move to come down pit road right before the caution came out, knowing Chastain had that issue. Gets tires, track position, finishes in 7th. Ryan Blaney. a disappointing 8th place. He was on older tires. He lost the lead in 2nd place to SVG. At that point, he was just hanging on. He didn't have the grip. Lost spots slowly. Finished 8th. Good for AJ Allmendinger, because I know after the race he needed some assistance by the safety crew. He was very hot. It was a very hot day at COTA. There was a few drivers who got sick, actually. I'll go over that in a minute. But AJ Allmendinger finishes 9th despite his post-race issue. I'm happy he's okay. And then Denny Hamlin rounds out your top 10. Notoriously not the best road course racer. I think it was his first top 10 ever at COTA, so good for him. Let's go over some other notables. Connor Zilic, 14th. Came back for a 14th place finish after getting spun out not once, but twice. Brad Keselowski I want to give a shout out to. There was talk about him not potentially running this race due to his broken leg that's still healing. And I think Joey Hand was on standby, but Brad said, I'm going to muscle through it. He gets himself a top 20 finish. I respect that. That's awesome. Good for him. He worked hard all day despite dealing with his injury. He's tough, man. He's a tough son of a gun. Good for Brad Keselowski. I got to go over Daniel Suarez. 25th. Should have been a top 10, but the pit strategy, whatever. Jesse Love, part-time starts, finished 27th. Him and his teammate Kyle Busch actually had a run-in. Kyle Busch got a little bit annoyed with Jesse Love, punted him going into the corner, and of course, it was at Chris Buescher's expense. Chris Buescher finished 24th, but he was on track for at least the top 15, I would say. Chris Buescher's a good road course racer. Speaking of Carson Hocevar earlier, he finishes 31st. Him and Cole Custer had a little run-in, hence he spun on the last lap because Cole Custer turned him, and then Mike Joy gave us that funny jump scare. Eric Jones, I want to point out, he did finish 34th. Not good, but he was fighting illness too. He completed all the laps. I'll give him credit for that. He was sick. Chastain, I mentioned also earlier, had a top 10 day going. Then he had the tire issue. That stinks. He did get that one bonus point for the fastest lap, though, and he also got the stage win, so he still gets 13 points despite finishing 3rd to last. And then this one, I didn't mention this. Alex Bowman. He was really under the weather, in which after stage 2, they took him out of the car. He was really sick, and they put Myatt Snyder in the 48 car for the remainder of the race. Myatt finished the race, however, due to the driver swap, he finished like 5 laps down, but I hope Alex Bowman's all right. I think he's good. But I feel bad because he has had a pretty terrible start to this season. I made a video a couple weeks ago saying like Alex Bowman's underrated. He needs to perform this season, though. He's had the worst start possible. DNFs at Daytona to a wreck that's not his fault. Atlanta was the worst running Hendrick car all day. Gets involved in a wreck that's not his fault again. And then even today, he was, 15th? Had a pit road penalty. I think it was a tire or something. Something got away. He finishes back in 36th. Then last place, Chase Briscoe. After having a pretty good promising day, he unfortunately had the transaxle issue, I think it was. But yeah. Next week, we have not the COTA, we just went there. The Phoenix doubleheader, IndyCar and NASCAR. I believe the IndyCar race is on Saturday, NASCAR Cup Series races on Sunday. That's really cool. That's going to be good for like ratings, if I had to guess, because they'll have IndyCar fans tuning in to the NASCAR race, NASCAR fans tuning into the IndyCar race. We'll see. That is the COTA St. Petersburg recap. I'm sorry for the delay. That's kind of pushing it off low-key. But I will have it as of today. It is Thursday. These races happened 4 or 5 days ago, so my bad. But yeah, we go to Phoenix. I hope for a good race weekend. But before I go, I want to say I think the 750 horsepower, a little bit of bonus horsepower. The car sounded better. There's more tire fall off. Tires meant more, and we saw some guys like Connor Zilic be able to drive his way through the field. So passing was possible. There's some good battles on track, just that no one had anything for that 45 car. But that will conclude this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's a little bit late, but I still did it. Have a good day, everybody. I'm Jake. You're watching Man Motorsports. See you soon.